Hello, how are you? This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. You know, I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. Sisters, it's time for us to heal up. It's time for us to level up. It's time for us to just walk in our truth, our authenticity, our femininity. And yeah, to use divination, the oracle, astrology, okay? And it's all about having happiness and joy in a life of purpose and fulfillment. So, thank you so much for being here. I want to share with you just a little bit about the retrogrades. It's interesting because I created a retrograde class for the summer bundle. I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. But I created a retrograde class that focuses on Venus, Mercury, and Mars retrograde. A lot of people hear about Mercury retrograde. They don't pay any attention to Venus retrograde. And I'm telling you, or Mars retrograde. And I'm telling you, they make a difference. They make a difference in the outcome and how our lives feel, the area that they are retrograding in. There's some level of hyper focus on that. And we get along so much further when we're working with the energy. Because if we're not working with that energy, it just feels like life is happening to us. And sometimes we even draw the conclusion of maybe I'm a failure, or maybe I just can't get this right. Life feels so hard, when it could just be once you learn how to work with the flow of the energy. If the energy is in go mode, then you're going to find that everything feels more easy and on the go, right? In general. But when we're in retrograde season, it's time to slow down. It's time to maybe revisit some things, redo, rest, rejuvenate, all the going back, okay, revisiting something. It could even be lost opportunities come back your way, okay? But retrograde season is often not the time to start something new. And so many people start something new during retrograde season. But it's the personal planets is what we call them. Venus, Mercury, and Mars. Those planets, when they retrograde, we can literally see it in our day-to-day lives. But the outer planets, they retrograde regularly and for a long time. Typically, it's going to be 4 to 6 months that these planets will retrograde. So we're headed into a retrograde season, and I'll just show you this really quickly. I created the retrograde class specifically for the best ever summer bundle. That today is the last day that you can sign up. I hope that you see this on June 8th. It's the last day that you can sign up. But I put it in this bundle. You will see the link in the description box. So yeah, you can, but the other thing is I love this summer bundle because it's just a beautiful way for you to take time to focus on yourself, which Venus retrograde is all about that. You can see here practical astrology for modern women working with the retrogrades. For me, that's what astrology is about. I need some practical application of it, or it's why are we doing this, people? It's not just good enough to know about something, baby. We need to be getting some results from whatever we're working on, okay, or whatever we're using. But you can see we have all different categories that you can choose from. I know some of y'all would love to have more on mindset, and a lot of y'all are into business. We have other ones, the home, the family, the hobbies, all kinds of things. So please avail yourself to the best ever summer bundle. It doesn't cost anything. Register, go in, download all of the classes that you want, and they're yours. Okay. We all donated something, or not donated, but put something in the bundle that was of value. My retrograde class is very much of value because most people don't know about that. We just focus on Mercury retrograde. I'm not going to let y'all go out like that. So that's what I want to share with you all there. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is let me go here, is the outer planets, because I'm giving you the inner planets with the retrograde class. So with the outer planets, um it's interesting because right now we're going into what I call retrograde season. So we've already had Mercury retrograde this year one time. Mercury will be going retrograde again. I think it's next month. No, August. Mercury goes retrograde in August. But in this calendar, just to give credit to who created it, her name is Lada of Astro Lada. In this calendar, you can see in red where the retrogrades start. Now, I want to tell you this, going back to April, is always around April, Pluto retrograded. So that kind of started kicking off the retrograde of the outer planets. Saturn retrograde is a very long time. It stays retrograde for a while. Let's see here, Jupiter, and then Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. They all go retrograde for a very long period of time. And so we're starting to kick that off. And so, no, that says Mercury retrograde. Where's Pluto? Pluto went retrograde. Oh, here we go. Right here. Pluto went retrograde in May. Yes. So maybe we've had 2 Mercury retrogrades. Anywho, Pluto went retrograde in May. Retrograde means that the planet has, from the vantage point of the Earth, the planet has slowed down so much that it looks like it's moving backwards. But we do have a backwards, slow down type feel from it whenever a planet retrogrades. But the more planets are retrograde at the same time, the more everything feels like quicksand. And that's because we need rest. That's what the retrogrades are a lot about, rest. So we had Pluto go retrograde in May. And then on the 17th of June, we're going to have Saturn go retrograde. And so we're going to start feeling more like, oh my gosh, why can't I move forward? Well, that's why I'm telling you this, so that you'll understand slow, methodical. What do you need to revisit? What needs to, because the retrograde has already shown you what that you're focusing on. And now it's giving you an opportunity to go back and focus on it some more. And then it'll give you, once it moves direct again, now you get to focus on it some more. And that there's this integration that happens. Okay. And then on June 30th, Neptune goes retrograde. So it's, 1, 2, 3, and then Venus is going to be 4, and then Mercury is going to be 5, and Uranus 6. This is all this summer. So this may not feel like a go, 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 go summer. It may feel sort of like I need to just, you may kind of feel sluggish, or you just don't want to move fast. Or no matter how fast you want to move, you can't. And you'll sort of be forced to really look at some stuff that you haven't really wanted to pay attention to. And so that is something to think about. But there is something special that is happening. And when we think about retrogrades with Pluto and Neptune, for sure, once in a lifetime, that's it. Wherever they are, that's all we're going to get to see. We don't get to see the full transit because it takes hundreds of years for them to get around that astrological wheel. Okay. So we are at a point with Pluto where none of us living have ever seen Pluto where it is. Pluto in March moved from Capricorn. Moved from Capricorn into Aquarius. It had been in Capricorn since 2007. And wow, did it bring some significant changes with moving into Capricorn. And so I want y'all to begin to understand that to a certain degree, there's a trust that we can have in the universe when it comes to what we're seeing. But what I'm noticing with things like Pluto is the great destroyer. And it's about change and transformation. And it's how society doesn't stay just the same way all the time. Something is going to change as a result of Pluto. Okay. And so Pluto brought about economic changes. The deeper it went into Capricorn, because Capricorn is about It's about rules and regulations and government. So Pluto really brought about on the world level, wherever you are, significant changes around government, tradition, because that's Capricorn. It, I just noticed there were times with Pluto being okay. Let me just give you the example of all examples. 2020, Pluto was all in the mix every time a planet went past Pluto, and it was planets like Saturn and Jupiter that are not with Pluto at the same time very often. It does not happen very often. It literally stopped the whole world, put us on pause. And then later that year, there was a something else that kind of kicked off this age of Aquarius, okay? Because of planets moving into Aquarius. Well, Pluto moved into Aquarius on March the 23rd. But Pluto moves very slowly. It was only on 1 degree the entire time that it was in Aquarius. So I want you to go back and look at your life since March 23rd. What has been coming up for you since March 23rd? What significant calls for change and transformation have been coming up for you? I need y'all to understand a planet like Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, even Jupiter and Saturn, we definitely need to be looking at what's happening in the world. If you really want to understand what's happening next in the world, those planets, or why are certain things happening in the world, those planets are going to show you. So I just want you to think about all the things that we've seen happening since Pluto moving into Aquarius back in March. Because here we are at June, and on the 11th of June, Pluto is continuing to move back in its retrograde, but it's going to go back into Capricorn. And so it's going to bring up some themes in the world. It's like going back, like, I got some, okay, Aquarius, it was like, I just wanted to come and visit you for a little while, see what our themes are going to be. So that it is not a coincidence that we have this smoke, this smoky air, this very toxic air coming from, fires in Canada, so powerful, and just it's such a huge quantity that we are seeing it down here in the United States. I had someone who lives in Maryland, or is it Virginia? I think Virginia. They can't go outside. They have all the way from Canada is already down in DC, right? I think even in Philadelphia, I just saw flights are being canceled. That's Aquarius. Air, that's Aquarius. And it's happening on a global level, or a level that's crossing, international borders, even though we really one land, but different countries. Make no mistake about that. That is Pluto in Aquarius, and it is showing us what we're going to be focused on. And there's other factors that I think are bringing it up too, but I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Pluto in Aquarius came through, turn up, show out. Aquarius is about change and transformation and progress. Okay. So I just want you to be thinking about how this has been looking for you. But I want to give you an opportunity to really embrace this energy of Pluto in Capricorn. Because baby, we not through with Capricorn yet. Okay. We were there with Pluto and Capricorn from 2007 to 2023, but we getting ready to go back and revisit some stuff. So let's talk about that, okay? So first and foremost, let me pull up something really quickly. Um, you know what I'm gonna do is just give this to you all for the rest of the year, because Pluto is gonna be in. Okay, so yeah, Pluto's gonna be in. I forgot to look this up before I got on and started recording, so pardon me. Just give me a moment. Okay, so Pluto will go direct in December. Is that correct? No. Mm, Okay, in October. Okay, so The United States is just going to continue to go through this Pluto return. Our country is being rebirthed anew. If I didn't know astrology, I would be stressed to the max over what I see. But think about the French Revolution, and then there was I don't know a lot about Stalin, but I do know that there was a Pluto return that happened around the time that Stalin fell. It is truly a time where a country rebirths and redefines itself. And one of the things I have been saying is that whatever it is that you desire for this country, this is the time to don't be like this country's going to hell in a handbasket. And it's just like, all the bad things, all the things that are just wrong with it, but to have a vision for the United States because, you know, it's a lot of us that had no say so in the, just even the beginning of this country and how this country was birthed. It's just so much that is wrong with it, and we need to go in a new direction, right? And this is our time. We are the generation that gets to define what this country is going to be about. Okay. So that is going to be a theme that we're going to see. But what, let's just go until the end of this year. I'm just going to talk about through the end of this year. And at the top of the year, I'll talk about Pluto again. But I want to talk about what this could mean for each sign. Okay. What are you going to go back and revisit that needs transformation in your life? What do you need? Okay. So I'm just going to go in the order of the zodiac. And again, I want you to think key words for this: change and transformation. I want you to think about rebirth, regeneration. And let me just be real clear. This is something that you were already working on because Pluto's already been here. So it's a retrograde. So it's like it's some unfinished business that you could have. Okay. Unfinished business that needs to be changed, that needs to be transformed. And themes, it could be like a plan because it's Capricorn. So Capricorn is about plan, or plans, having a plan. It's about having structure. Now, it's also very karmic. So it could be, it almost feels like something faded, something karmic, but it's about, healing. This is another thing. Maybe it could be some healing. Now, for some of us, you might be needing to get your skeletal system healed up. Okay. And it's also could be the skin. Capricorn could be the skin. So maybe some of y'all are like, oh, my skin cleared up. And then now it's like, oh my gosh, it feels like I have regressed. But it's really asking you to go back. Maybe it was like, well, yeah, your skin cleared up, but did you stick to the regimen that you were supposed to be working on? Right. Or you remember you had a plan and you totally deviated from the plan. Now, Capricorn is about something that is, it could be a cycle. So it feels like you got out of the cycle, but you're brought back to it. But we want to remember astrology is working in our favor. Even when it's rough astrology, we always have to believe it is helping me to either course correct or it's going to amplify action that is aligned. Either way, it is working in our favor. Okay. So if it's some cycle that you're going, you have to revisit, and maybe it was one that was about healing, or, it could be about your father, even something about family. It's just more about the integration. Maybe there's some new level of understanding that you need from going back and revisiting that cycle. Capricorn is about success. Okay. So you may go back and you're like, okay, why have I not gotten the success that I want? Or, I've gotten some success, but I need to revisit what was I doing that I realized this is going to get me success. It could be something like that. Those are general themes that you want to revisit. But if you want to just keep it nice and simple, change and transformation in a particular area. Okay. So I have to go all the way down to the 10th house for Aries. For Aries, the 10th house has to do with career, success, all the things that I just talked about. Also Capricorn is about responsibilities and hard work. I think that for you, Aries, there was like a lot of progress that you were making in your career, and you're going to revisit these themes of success and career. And I think that it could help you to step in and feel even more powerful with this revisit of Pluto, but it may be some internal. So this is the other thing I need to say to y'all. Pluto helps you make changes internally. Okay. So you want to go back and read and think about, maybe there's some internal change that needs to happen, maybe in your psychology, right? This is where the transformation comes. It's really within. I don't know why I feel like I hear my this is what happens when you do things live. I can't pause this, but I wasn't expecting grass cutting people to come today, and I just need to double check and see, is this these people outside my door? I'm going to get right back. I'm not going to stop, but I just thank the goodness it's not, because it was going to get loud if they are. It's my neighbors. But yeah, you want to think about some deep transformation, deep healing that you maybe need to make to have more success. Aries or anybody, deep healing, that's what this Pluto is about. Okay. And also, I think it's about what you're known for. Aries might feel like you're stepping into a higher level of power, um, or like in order to get the career success that you want or the reputation that you want, you really have to tap the power within. That's how I see Pluto. Tap the power within. It could change some people's marital statuses, or maybe you're just going to get healed up around that marital status, especially if you got a divorce. And then focus on parental responsibilities, especially regarding the father. But that could be something that is coming back to the forefront for Aries. Now, for Taurus, this is going to be your 9th house. So, with the 9th house being, with Pluto going back into your 9th house, this is going to have you revisit themes that are around your goals, the big picture, your paradigm, like how you see the world, your philosophy. You probably have had a grand transformation since 2007, and now you're going to go back and revisit it. Maybe there's some continued transformation, some healing that you'll need to be doing around that. Let me see here. What else? Oh, also, let's see here. Pluto. Oh, something about traveling or education. It's about growth. It's about expansion. So it'll be bringing up topics around that are about you transforming yourself in a way that allows you to expand. That's how I'm going to say that. And it also may be asking you to step into your power as a teacher, or you'll get more empowered working with a guru, a sage, an expert of some sort. Okay. Ooh-wee. Pluto in the 8th house for Gemini. This is definitely an energy that has to do with transformation. Oh my gosh. I saw so many Geminis. This was those 2020, 2019. It was rough on Geminis. Okay. So whatever was happening around that time, and it was very internal, it could have to do with healing and intimacy and your sexuality. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It could be bringing up topics around that, but it's also about money and maybe financial backing or debt or something like that. So it's going to bring up topics around that for Gemini. So maybe you kind of felt like you had been doing some deep healing. And now that when it moved into Aquarius, you kind of felt like, okay, I feel like I'm catching a deep breath, but I think it's going to take you back. Okay. I think it's going to take you back, Gemini. I need to pause it. For Aries, it could be affecting the skin and the bones. For Taurus, it could be affecting, Pluto could make you want to really focus on healing like your hips and your liver. And then for Geminis, it would have you wanting to heal up um like the sex organs, especially like any portals, the anus, it could even be something like focus this having to focus on your colon health or something like that. So I'm going to try to remember to bring up the body part for each one. Okay. Next is Cancer. Man, well, this has been rough on the Cancerians. The Cancerians have had to transform. I've seen so many wild and crazy things happen with with Cancerians. Yes, with Cancerians. Because it really was asking you to make big shifts, big changes in relationships, or maybe having more balance in your life. Some of the reason I'm kind of thinking about Cancers, is I know so many people who also have this Capricorn energy and Cancer energy. It was rough for the Cancerians and the Capricorns because Pluto put pressure on you. Now, it all depends on where your planets are in that chart, okay? But it's kind of like pressure to change, but you got to find the balance between what you need, what you want, and other people. Or it created great shifts in transformation in your relationships with other people, Cancer. But yeah, this was one that there was no Cancerian that came out the same. Okay. So it's kind of like revisiting. Maybe you're going to be continuing. You got to finish up the change. The change hasn't been set fully, but get ready, Cancer, because moving back into your seventh house, it will create some significant change. And I'm going to tell you the other thing that I love about the seventh house. Pluto probably asked the Cancerians to get some support. Did the Cancerians get support? Cancerians have a lot of problems with getting support. Y'all some proud people. I know Leos are proud, but Cancerians are like, I got it. I can take care of this. Taking care of everybody but themselves. Cancerians, take care of yourself, okay? Do you need some help? You will be transformed when you ask people for support. And if you ask the wrong people for support, you ask people for support and they don't give you support, go find the ones who will. All right? Okay. Next is Leo. For Leo, this happened in your sixth house. Leo, you were asked to make some changes in a number of areas. Number one, health and wellness. It is very important for the Leos to be, how do you need to be transforming your day-to-day routines, your health and wellness routines, but also when it comes to work. Most people don't know this, but Leos can be workaholics, okay? Leos can just be doing too much. And so Pluto was like, hey, we need to maybe come up with some systemization to make sure that, you can go work out or you can go get some rest. You're not working on stuff all the time because you're every day creating a new system. So wanting to create new systems. And I'm going to tell you something. Leos and actually Geminis, this could be making you focus on things that are a little bit problematic. And so you might revisit some problems that you were like, dang, I thought this was over. Don't panic. Leo, don't panic. You're going back to revisit. Maybe you forgot the lesson and you need to remember it. It's this energy of empowerment, though, for you. So step into your power. Everyone should step into their power with Pluto. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say. Okay. Next is Virgo. Now, Virgo, this happened for you in your fifth house. I think for Virgo, this was really asking Virgo to look at what's fun for you. Where can you just be your natural self? Because Virgos can be uptight and just kind of focused on, the task at hand, and we need to fix this and we need to fix that, and then life just isn't fun for Virgo. And next thing we know, Virgo's sad, Virgo's depressed, right? Virgo's burdened down because it's got so much on its to-do list, right? And so Pluto was asking you to make a change around having fun and dating. Maybe you had some transformational experiences with dating, Virgo, or this transformation around something with your children. Maybe you had to become a new parent for your child. You had to transform so that you could show up and be the parent that your child needs you to be. It could be something, I'm using words like transformation and change, but let me tell you, Pluto can bring some really rough times. So, woo, for Virgo, it was really asking you to, yeah, maybe you really had to face the fact that it's like, no, I'm really a workaholic. I need to do something about this. Oh, you know what? Another thing about Virgos, people in Virgo careers, like nurses, nurses were like, I'm done. This whole transformation is happening with nurses or people just who, in service, even doctors or whatever. But it's all for your better. And it's just asking you to be more aligned with your truth and be authentic, Virgo, and not just burdened down with problems, but to have fun and to have hobbies. Okay. Next is going to be Sagittarius. No, I'm sorry, not Sagittarius. Libra. Okay. For Libra, woo, this was your fourth house. Wow. Woo. So, this created change and transformation for Libra when it comes to the family, when it comes to your home. You are going to revisit this. This is taking you back to whatever those themes have been around home and family. And maybe there's some healing that has needed to happen regarding your ancestors. And also, oh my gosh, this house is the fourth house is the house of emotions. I need to study Libra because that's where it is for me now. in Aquarius. And I'm just like, this is deep. I can imagine Libras are a little bit different from Scorpios now that I think about it. Because Libras are an air sign, and maybe it made you feel so much more emotionally, and you were required to transform your emotions than you're used to. So yeah, it could be total. Now, this one is like the foundation of your life gets shifted with this kind of transit in the fourth house, Libra. Sheesh. Okay. So, well, I'm just getting it. I'm 53. Like, whenever I do astrology, I start thinking, oh my gosh, like, okay, breathe, Tyra, breathe. The Libras made it. I'm going to make it too. um, but it it changes the foundation of your life. And so you might go back and revisit that. You've been putting it back together brick by brick by brick, but maybe there's, something you need to revisit to make sure that you're building this life that you're living on the foundation that you really want it to be built on. Okay. So that's good, right? But this one is one of those very transformational places, Libra, that could bring about a lot of significant changes for you. Okay. So for Scorpio, this happened in your third house. So this is going to bring back this energy around the mind, mindset. Mind and mindset, business, and maybe something around siblings, friends, the coworkers, peers, people who are your peers, neighborhood, local community. This one could cause you to travel. Maybe you're going to get back to traveling a little bit. Scorpio. Yeah, this house is just really, whoa. It has a lot going on in it. So you have to kind of think about what was coming up for you. Oh, it's also about learning. So it maybe you go back and revisit some classes that you signed up for, workshops that you signed up for, like, oh, I need to go back and remember this because you want to integrate it. You hadn't fully integrated it. You haven't used it all. That would be me. It's also about marketing, social media, those kinds of topics. And so you might have left something that you were doing and you're like, no, why did I leave that? I need to go back and revisit it, because it was working for me. But more than anything, it's about the mind. Okay, I told you I might not remember. So I was at Gemini. I'm putting a pause on it if you're watching it all the way through. So for Cancer, Capricorn could affect your adrenals, your hips. No. Well, your buttocks. Let me say your butte, adrenals. Oh, kidneys. That's what I'm trying to think of. And kidneys. And then for Leo, it could affect your digestion, your small intestine. It could be something like that. It just could bring really a lot of health topics for the Leos. For the Virgos, it's the fifth house is the lower back. So maybe some of the Virgos have been dealing with some lower back stuff, and you're going to be reminded of, hey, you need to take care of this. Also could be bringing up topics around your hair. Libra, this would be the stomach, the gut, the breast. Maybe even just the feminine organs altogether. But yeah, also the stomach, the like intestinal flora, that kind of thing could be coming up. Back to Scorpio. For Scorpio, it's the mind, okay? But it also could be the lungs, the shoulders, the arms, and the hands. If you have been having some issues with that, it could bring that back up. Next is Sagittarius. For the Sagittariuses out there, this is the third house. No. This is the second house. Sorry, y'all. This is the second house. Woo. Okay, so the Sagittarius was another group that I was just like, Capricorn and Cancer topics have been a challenge for y'all. Okay. So this one is about taking care of yourself. It's just very important. You're going to be taking back to topics around self-care, especially with maybe how you're eating, or it'll bring up self-worth values. Like maybe you need to stand in your power more. That will make you feel more worthy, or the more you feel more worthy, you stand in your power. But it's definitely about money, changing your relationship with money, your personal finances, how you make money, how you take care of your money, save money, just all kinds of topics around money could be coming up for Sagittarius. Oh, and it's about your personal stuff. So, maybe Sagittarius were kind of like, I want new stuff, or I want to get rid of this, something about like your philosophy around your stuff. Maybe you were supposed to get rid of some stuff and you didn't get it. You didn't get rid of it. Or maybe you were supposed to get some new stuff and you didn't. So yes, these are the things that you want to be thinking about with Pluto moving back into Capricorn for you, Sagittarius. Okay, next is Capricorn. So Capricorn, it depends on what you have, oh my gosh. I think of all the signs, I have felt the most just pain for me in my heart. For those of you who are Capricorns first and Cancerians second, and an honorable mention for those who are Aries and Libra. This Pluto transit was rough. And so I'm just trying to let y'all know, okay, because I love you. If you're Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, you're up next, okay? The fixed signs are up next. Change and transformation is just, woo, my goodness. I love knowing astrology, and sometimes it's just like ignorance is bliss, but it's not really bliss. That's why I'm telling y'all. So yeah, more change and transformation topics. Like you were supposed to make some changes. You were supposed to become somebody anew. Maybe there's something psychological that needs to happen. You were stepping into your power, then you stepped out of your power. I don't know exactly how it's looking. Go back to 2020. That year showed you what this was really about. Focus on what you've been working on since 2020. But yeah, definitely going in a new direction, Capricorn. And I think it's also really focusing on your health and well-being Capricorns are another sign that work all the time and could self-neglect. And so I think that you're going to be asked to like take care of yourself, fix your body. If there seems like there's something wrong, go get a checkup. Okay. But the other thing is your life has been headed in a new direction. And baby, this Pluto return is like, all right, we're going to make sure we keep going in this new direction. Ain't nobody gonna turn me around. All right. That's what Pluto is saying for y'all. Right. Okay. Next is Aquarius. So we go all the way back down to the 12th house. And so, for Aquarius, this has been like this transformation on the inner level in the subconscious mind. It's like something is hidden and is deep, deep, deep in the psyche. It's like this blind spot. And so it's like this transformation is happening on the inside. It's healing. But in a way, it's kind of like getting to the stuff that maybe is not serving you. So you're going to go back to doing this work. It could make you also, Aquarius is actually very much into research. So it can make you kind of get back into doing some deep, deep research. Maybe it's on healing. It could be something creatively going on. Maybe some deep research on whatever this thing is that you like to create or whatever just gets you lit up. It's like this inner muse or whatever. You could go back to just learning more about it, engaging with it. You might be doing a lot of shadow work, or maybe you've done a lot of shadow work and now you're getting ready to go back and revisit your shadow work. It could be something like that, Aquarius. It could be even bringing up topics around sleep. If you couldn't sleep, you might go back to, maybe you can sleep now and now you got to go back to revisit some topic around sleep and dreams and that kind of thing. It also could have you working with your ancestors too. Last but not least is Pisces. This is the 11th house. Now for Pisces, the Capricorn transit, anything that was happening in Capricorn could have been a time where you felt like you got some new goals or some new friends. It could have helped you get far along, though it was requiring you to make some changes. Like I said, what you used to want, you probably didn't want anymore. And so you're going to revisit that. Maybe you kind of lost sight of it with it moving into Aquarius and you just went all internal. And now you got to go back to, with it being in your 11th house, it's like, oh, wait a minute. I need to, focus on some things that are a little bit more outward because this 11th house can help you make some money. Be gainful. It can help you have some good fortune. It might be like you kind of feel like your good fortune left you and now it's going to come back. And the one last thing that I can say is it's asking you to look at progress, making some progress in your life. Pisces, you may have felt like, what happened to all the progress I was making? I know I have asked that actually. I was like, I feel like I was doing good, but maybe I'm not. So it's going to help you go back and look at, what kind of progress do I need to make? And, maybe you already had a plan for the progress and now you're going to, get back to that and you're going to have a little while to work on this because then you're going to start going back internal. Every time it goes into Aquarius, you go back inside and it's going to do this one more time where it's kind of in Aquarius and it comes out. But right now it's going into Capricorn. Okay. So you get to work on these kinds of things. What can help you make progress. Also hanging out with people who can help you to get there. Okay. Because Pluto being in your 12th house, you might be a little bit like, I don't really want to hang out with nobody. Right. Okay. So I want to just pull a card really quickly. I'm going to use my Mythical Goddess Tarot and just get a reading around what is the energy that is speaking for this. I'm going to give it the Capricorn, Pluto retrograde and the Capricorn. What energy is going to help us all? What's the message for us just to remember and work with? Oh, this is This is interesting. I pulled the Wind Crone, and she's about being a visionary. And then I pulled, ooh, it's going to help us to get in touch with denial. Okay, come on. What's the last card for us for this Pluto retrograde in the Capricorn? I think it's going to be a big deal for us. Ooh. Okay. So the first card that I pulled is the Crone, the Wind Crone card. And the Wind Crone, like I said, she's the visionary, and she says she comes to you with gifts of insight now needed to ascend above your present circumstances into new realities and perspectives of possibilities never imagined before. So I love that. That's going to help us. This is what this retrograde in Capricorn is going to help us with. She brings pristine vision to assist you in forming a new way of seeing and creating the world. And I love that because that's what Pluto and Aquarius is going to require. So maybe it's like we're going to be able to catch our breath. No pun intended, given what's going on with the air quality. Catch our breath so that when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, we're gonna have a whole new experience with it. We'll have some focus and some direction. So she says, open your mind to new paradigms, to pioneer into unknown realities. Wow. Leading the way for others and changing the course of the world forever. So that's one thing that we want to consider as we make these changes in our lives. This is what it will do for the world. We have to remember we make a difference. Whatever we're bringing, it does matter. Just do your destiny, and it's going to help bring about this new paradigm for the world. Okay. But the second card I pulled is this denial card, which is, so the Wind card, that's the mind, and that's vision. She was like visionary. But Pluto is about change and transformation. So I think that there is some healing that we're going to be called to focus on while Pluto is in Capricorn. And this is going to be for a while, y'all. So just write this down, revisit it once a month. This is a warning card to come alive and feel again. It is time to honestly ask yourself what you're afraid to heal and what behaviors are keeping you from facing your true feelings. Ouch. Now is the time to come out of the trance that keeps you in denial that leads to your death. Show courage and drop your inner shields so that you may listen to the essential messages your heart must tell you. And that is that transformative energy of Pluto, and it's internal. It's mostly internal. We may see some effects, but the true effects are going to come from us doing that internal work or allowing that change and transformation to happen in mind, in body, in spirit, in emotions. Okay. So the last one, though, is on the other side of this retrograde. We get Amaterasu, the sun. I love this one so much because she's in the major arcana of this deck. And so on the other side of this, it says Amaterasu shines forth into your life, radiating wholeness, wellness, creation, and manifestation. And I honestly believe if we do the work, if we just face it, because it can be challenging, this is what we're going to get. She shows you there is good reason to be optimistic, that you are loved and free to express yourself in the sunniest light, and that co-creation and partnership with others is the great joy in life. That's interesting. Co-creation. Maybe Pluto in Capricorn is going to remind, like we've had Pluto in Aquarius, and we can see how it's just been these huge collectives coming together around different topics that affect society, right? And so this is what we're seeing. And when we go back into Capricorn, it may feel kind of sort of like we aren't in that energy anymore. Yeah. It's kind of sort of. The energy doesn't just go away with Pluto moving out. It's already been set many times by other planets in Aquarius. But Pluto moving back into Capricorn might make us like, oh no, I crave us working together again. And so maybe that's something we're going to come out with on the other side. Like, no, we are really and truly better when we work together. Okay. She encourages you through your glowing radiance to light the way for others. So I just think on the other side, we're going to come out shining like Amaterasu, because she's a goddess who, I can't remember what happened, but she got upset and went into a cave. And then, all the earth went dark. And so the goddess Uzumi, these are Japanese deities. Uzumi is like the wild woman, and she came and she made all the gods and goddesses laugh. And Amaterasu was like, what are they laughing at? And so she came out. And so that was Uzumi working to get Amaterasu out by having everyone, she created this laughter. And so Amaterasu came out. And so I think that on the other side of this Pluto retrograde, we're going to be Amaterasu coming out. Yeah, we're going to go into that cave of darkness, but we're going to be able to come out on the other side, shining brightly. And I give so much thanks to the Oracle for that. That feels so encouraged. Okay, I talked way longer than I thought, but guess what? I'm happy about it. I hope that this helps you all so much. And if y'all would, again, I would love it if y'all would sign up for the Best Ever Summer Bundle. The link is in the bio. You can get my retrograde class inside of this bundle. Today's the last day, June 8th. Let me get off, send this to you all. Love you all so much. So you can sign up and not only just get my class, it's plenty in there for you. Plenty. Doesn't cost a thing. All right. Y'all take care. Peace and love.